Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. In today's video we'll be looking at why I had a lot of luck among bad luck. But I want to start off by thanking every single one of you for the great amount of support that I've gotten. Like, this wouldn't have been possible without your support, and I'm very thankful for it. Like, every single thing meant a lot for me. From the donations, to the sharing, to even wishing me good health. Like, every single thing meant a lot to me and got me in a way better place because of it. But of course, everyone's probably wondering to how I'm doing, which is something I'll be going into further on in the video. But I want to start off by showing you guys the content of that day. So basically from the qualifying to the first race and the second race, and then I'll be going into a further detail about what happens afterwards. So let's get right into it. So here we are for an onboard lap around the beautiful Strijen. We start off with a small straight which leads into a corner to the right, which is a very heartbreaking hairpin corner. Then immediately right after is a corner to the left, and a small straight again leading into a corner to the right. And from this point on there are going to be a lot of corners, so immediately to the left, to the right, to the left yet again, which then ends up going onto a small straight where you have some room to breathe, going into a corner to the left, and then immediately into a corner to the right, going into a small straight, and this leads up to a longer straight, which eventually leads up to the main straight. And I would say this day was quite difficult considering the weather, but even though that, we still managed to put a decent lap down, but it was not enough, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Well, even though it looks quite decent, we actually put down a lap that was second to last, which is absolutely awful. And I feel like this was mainly due to us not having the right gear ratio, seeing the engine was struggling quite a bit, together with not having the accenters, which is actually crucial during this weather, because you really want to put the kingpin backwards, and we didn't really have anything to do that, so we basically were driving completely neutral, which didn't really help at all, and it also made it very hard to steer in. That's why I was also leaning forwards to put some extra pressure in, but even that was just not enough, unfortunately. It was also not helping the fact that we also made quite a bit of mistakes, flew off the track once, which actually made us go slightly airborne. But yeah, just a very bad qualifying session, and hopefully it will be better in the race. So here we are for the first race of the day, starting behind the number 270. And here we are trying to line up, actually get an absolutely awful start, seeing if we can go down the inside of the number 297, which we managed to do, seeing if there's room in between 270, which there is not. We can see one go-kart on the left side, which actually pushes off the track, but it doesn't matter, seeing we actually managed to keep the position from the 297. Here we can see 269 going down absolutely everyone by like a madman, but he managed to overtook like 3 places right there. Now here we are behind the number 234, seeing if we can try any move further ahead by at least gaining some speed here, which we actually don't manage to do, so they're pulling away quite a bit, but this is probably due to us having a lower tire pressure, or at least we start off with low tire pressure to prevent the tires from overheating, so this is an issue that we've had quite a bit. But now we are behind the number 270. Getting very close to his bumper, but not yet close enough to pull off a move. Oh, here we can see 232 flying off the track, nearly hitting someone, but managed to rejoin the track. Now we are behind him, seeing if we can actually pull off a move on him. Actually managed to gain 2 positions at the same time because of that. Seeing if we can go down the inside of this, we actually don't manage to do that, because we didn't really have enough space to do that. So we stick behind him so far. And now we're lining up again, seeing if we can gain some speed towards him. We can also see quite a bit of battling going on at the front. And now we are actually behind the 267, which overtook us before, seeing if we can pull a move on him. Going down the inside, very late braking on him, and I actually managed to stick on the track and gain the position, so very good so far. And now we can see if, well, now we can try to go further up the field, so we can see quite a bit of people ahead. Now we managed to catch up slightly, or at least see quite a bit of battling going on with another go-kart, actually hitting each other quite a bit, which actually managed to make it so we get closer to them. So here we are going up the straight, which we actually managed to gain quite a bit of time here, so you get quite a bit of slipstream. Yes, even 232 gets it here, seeing if he goes down the inside, which he does, and actually nearly goes off over the number 214 here. Fortunately, nothing bad happened, just them flying nearly over each other, but not like the way it happened to me, so that's good at least. And now we can see that we're actually getting overtaken by number 270 here. And here I'm just trying to see if I am losing quite a bit of time or not, and seeing if we can actually get to the front easier. Which, one thing I found out, in my opinion at least, is that we had so much grip that we actually lost quite a bit in the corners due to like the friction that we were having, which is something we really have to work on, so it's really bothering us. And here we are going down to number 270, so managing to gain another position and lining up right behind the number 288. So seeing if we can pull any move on him eventually, but the only place where it's possible, at least decently possible, is when you go right up the straight and then into the hard braking zone. Seeing it's, at least for what I know, it's going to be easier, seeing he has aluminum rims here, and it actually makes the tires quite hot, and as you can see he also loses quite a bit of grip there. So I'm going down the inside, I'm leaving quite a bit of room, so quite nice of him, and going down the inside and gaining another position. So now we are having to basically get up back to the pack in front again and seeing if we can make any moves. So now we are behind the number 248, and you can see quite a bit of people battling, so hopefully we can manage to take advantage of it. Oh, we can see one going very wide now. So yeah, there's quite a bit of hitting going on, but fortunately nothing too bad, so to say. And here we are just trying to keep up, seeing if we find any gap that is being created by them pushing each other wide or trying to go for a move which is just not possible. So I'm really just looking at it and seeing what is possible or not. But yeah, as you can see, it's still, considering this track has quite a bit of corners and it's not too wide, so to say, you don't really have a lot of overtaking opportunities besides after the long straight, which actually opens quite a bit, so you can gain quite a bit of speed from just being behind someone and being in the slipstream. But yeah, this is what I mean by just the friction. I feel like we just had a bit too much grip, which just made us lose a lot of time. But yeah, as you can see, this is actually the end of the race, and we actually managed to finish in the 13th position, but due to time penalties from the people in front of me due to all of the battling, I actually managed to get into the 10th position for the next race. As you can see, not that bad of a recovery drive. Even though we did have some issues with pace, we still managed to get a couple of positions and get back all the way up to P10. But everything will be thrown away in a matter of seconds within the second race. So let's look at that. So here we are for the second race of the day, lining up behind the number 1 and getting right in between the white lines, waiting until the light goes up, which it does now, getting quite of a bad stop. At least we managed to defend the inside, so no one can overtake us around there. You can see quite a bit of people hitting each other slightly and just getting through at least the first couple of corners, which is very important. You can also see me sliding a bit and gaining a position because one flew actually quite wide. Therefore, we get one position more, but we also lose a bit of time due to that mistake. And now you can see us trying to at least gain some time upon the number 1 and the people in front of us. But it's just that considering we haven't warmed up our tires properly again, or at least we had lower tire temperatures, or like lower tire pressure, so the tire temperature got up later during the race. I'm really trying to spare my tires, considering this track specifically actually takes quite a bit of your tire, considering it's very technical, puts quite a bit of pressure on it. And we've also noticed that we're actually running a bit of too much grip, which we actually didn't really manage to fix too much, even though certain setup changes, so that's very unfortunate. So we were just like struggling both sessions with just like getting through certain corners, because as you can see, especially in the last couple of corners, we just can't easily catch up, or at least be equal to the person in front of me, considering we just have too much grip, which actually makes it so the engine has to, at least that the engine can't push through easily enough, which is quite a bummer. But yeah, it's something we learn from it, and I've got some ideas on how to fix it, but it's something we'll have to test and see if that actually manages to improve it. So you can see now the pace actually starts to get quite equal between me and the number 1, considering the tires from the number 1 are most likely overheating a bit now, considering the temperature at this day itself and the circumstances we had, considering also that she's using the aluminum rims, which actually make it a bit hard for the tires to stay within the optimal tire range. And now you can see us trying to line a bit closer behind her, and this is actually where everything went wrong. And everything went extremely quickly, considering the first thing I know, I see the sky, and then a couple of seconds later you basically get back up again, and then you start seeing what's actually coming after you. And then my first instinct was actually to grab the steering wheel to maybe try and steer away from the people who are coming after me, which was actually quite stupid. You might think, oh wait, it's not that stupid if you grab the steering wheel trying to steer away from people, but it's not necessarily grabbing this, like not necessarily steering away from the people, but mostly about the way I grabbed the steering wheel. Because I grabbed it from the top, meaning that if I had another instant where someone flew over it, it would have taken my fingers with it. So it's better to actually grab it from the side than instead of taking it from the top, because if you get another instant like it, you'll lose your fingers. So this is something that's extremely stupid and will have to be done differently in the case where it happens again. But unfortunately during this time period no red flag was waved, only a yellow flag, and at some point the red flag due to my dad running on track seeing how I was doing. But yeah, that was quite surprising. I saw them come by again, which wasn't the nicest feeling at all. But yeah, after everything has stopped, the ambulance came and actually helped me out of the go-kart, because I wasn't capable to do it myself. Also checked if there was nothing wrong with the back and my neck, to just make sure that there's nothing wrong going on, because you can't in circumstances like that immediately get out of it. Because if there's something bad going on with your neck and back, it might even make it worse if you do that, which is also a stupid thing to do. So yeah, basically because of that reason I also had to sit there, they had to do the checkups, and then we were able to proceed further and seeing what's actually going on. Right after that I got helped out of the go-kart and put into the ambulance. Then I was basically escorted off the track, and they basically started taking off the shoes and seeing what was wrong with my foot, considering it was hurting quite a bit. And it was also quite an issue trying to keep my foot up, because actually gravity that's pulling my foot down was also hurting significantly. So I actually got some painkillers to go up against that, but they couldn't specifically pinpoint out either if it was broken or if something else is going on. So I had to go to the hospital. But considering like in the Netherlands, if you go into the hospital nearby, you can have quite a bit of issues with documentation and other kind of stuff. So I was actually recommended to go into a hospital nearby where I live, which was actually a 2.5 hour drive away. So I got put on painkillers, then I had to put my foot on top of the dashboard, and then we had to drive 2.5 hours back. So then I basically called the GP, asked if someone could check out my foot, which they said at that moment they couldn't, and said if it's already broken, it can't be more broken the next day, which, okay, sure. And but thankfully enough, they actually managed to give me an appointment on a specific day. So right at that moment, I was able to go, at least right after we got back, I was able to go to a GP immediately, get the foot checked. They said, okay, you have to take a picture in the hospital. So then we went to the hospital, got it checked there. So they made a picture, concluded that nothing is broken, which is something I was personally scared about in a way. Like if something is broken, then you would have to put something around your foot and it has to heal for a very long time. But yeah, so mostly the tendons were torn together with the muscles, which is basically something I had to recover from. So then I went to a psychotherapist to basically help me recover, and currently I'm able to walk again, and I'll also be go-karting in I think about a week, so that's very good. But basically I had to go through the entire procedure, and they had to help me walk, and then they had to test me. So you get like something around your foot and you have to put pressure on it, seeing if you're actually able to drive again or to do certain things. And thankfully everything went well, and it could have ended way worse, at least the crash, than it went. So yeah, I'm very happy that it is not worse, and that I've been able to fully recover, like nearly fully recover in about a month. So yeah, very happy with that. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I really want to thank every single one of you again for the amount of support that I've gotten, not only financially, also mentally, and in every single way possible. It really helped me through this very tough time, and that's also why this video is uploaded quite late, considering like mentally for me personally I wasn't doing too well, so I was really just trying to pick myself up piece by piece, and I feel way better now than I've done before, so I'm really thankful for every single one of you. And I also hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Never get old.